guys, welcome to another Makeup and Movies. Today's movie will be Misery, starring James Caan and Kathy Bates in an absolutely amazing performance. So I am going to start by mixing my pore reducing primer with my NYX Born to Glow. Now, I'm not sure what I can say about Misery that hasn't already been said. One thing that I liked that's more of a thing of old movies is, it's not so frenetic. One thing about movies nowadays is everything is happening all the time for just every moment. Something's got to happen. There's got to be some kind of noise. It's like they're afraid to lose the audience's attention. And as someone with ADHD, yeah, it's hard to keep my attention. Probably have a bit too much on, but can just put some on my neck. And I'm going to blend that in with this foundation brush that I got from BH Cosmetics. I mean, people have raved about Kathy Bates' performance as the absolutely insane Annie Wilkes. One thing I thought was interesting is if this had been a comedy, they would have probably made a very good comedy duo too. The way the two characters interact off of each other. Paul Sheldon, played by Caan, and Annie, played by Bates. Wonder how it would have gone as a dark comedy. But I guess in the way Stephen King always tends to write a smallage of comedy into his works. Alright, next I'm going to go in with my favorite Misha cushion. And I am wearing my contacts now so I can actually see myself in the viewfinder. And I don't have to have the mirror like right up in my face. One problem with this is I can never tell when I'm running low, but it's refillable, so that's nice. The story, of course, starts with Sheldon finishing his newest manuscript and getting into his car to take it back to New York to his publisher. And as he does this, he is unknowingly being followed by Annie. Next, I'll be going in with my Sephora concealer. I decided to get a little bit closer to the camera just so you can see what I'm doing better. I'm trying to actually improve these videos as I go along. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of contour with my Smashbox contour stick. And then Sheldon ends up in a car crash and is found by Annie, who was following him. I'm going to take some and put it down my nose. Just going to bring this out a bit further. Well, Annie finds him, and at first she seems very unassuming, as we all know. One of the hard things about watching movies like these is like you're waiting for, this time you know that the other shoe's gonna drop and you're waiting for that moment when it does. I'm surprised about the slow build. I guess the way people comment on it, I thought, her craziness would really be, well, not craziness. That one's actually pretty apparent at the beginning, but get that nose nice and sculpted because it's quite obvious she's a very obsessive fan at the beginning. I mean, she was following him and she admits to it. I'm having a hard time discussing this movie just because, what hasn't already been said about it? It really is one of those movies that everybody's talked about already. It won it won Kathy Bates an Academy Award. I don't remember if it won an Academy Award. I'm not exactly up to date on those or back to date on those or any date on those. I'm not really into the Academy Awards. Next is the Laura Mercier powder. Going in with my big fluffy brush that I just got. Everybody knows the plot, that she keeps him prisoner, forces him to write a new book to her favorite book series, Misery, which he is the writer for, because he had killed off Misery in the last book, and, well, she was very unhappy about that. And then later he finds out she's a Angel of Death style serial killer. She breaks his ankles and it's all very gruesome and dark. Alright, so I want to really emphasize my contour, so I'm going to go in with some bronzer. I'm going to use my Caribbean Sun bronzer duo from Jelly Pong Pong. There's only one jelly, so you don't have too much jelly. Really sculpting out my face today, which I don't normally do. Every day I get my mother's face more and more. That's what happens after you turn 30. You become your mother. I'm going for a sort of dark green eye look, so I'm going to start with my BH Take Me to Brazil palette. I'm going to start with this shimmery green and pack it all over the lid. And I'm taking it up to the eyebrow. One thing I think I've already mentioned that I miss about older movies is the slowness. You know, there's quiet moments, there's moments of contemplation. You see moments of Sheldon, him trying to figure out a plan, trying to figure out what's available, tool for him to use, and trying to get away from Annie. One thing I didn't know is that Annie falls in love with him. I thought she was just, you know, obsessed with his writing. Well, in a way she just is. Because she doesn't care about him as a person at all. She just cares about the person she thinks he is. When her first, or actually second freak out, her first freak out was trying to feed him soup. And it was about the swearing in his newest book. But her first freak out, or second freak out, I keep saying first. Next I'm gonna go in with this darker green and take that onto the crease. It's kind of weird watching a movie you know all about but don't actually know all about. I didn't know about the sheriff that was looking for him even after everybody thought he had died. Now I'm gonna go with this on the outer corner. Actually, I've decided I'll put that in the crease to deepen it because I want to go in with black next. I'll also be putting it under my lid. Next, we're going to be going in with a black. And I'll be putting that on the outer corner, a little bit along the lash line, and blend that out. Sorry. I'm always bad at doing this sort of cat eye eyeshadow look. I'll have to correct it with some concealer. I guess I said I'm so used to movies nowadays that are just everything's happening all at once. There's no breathing room, there's no contemplation, there's no, hey, time to figure out if this lady's crazy or not. The reason why I picked this movie, which I'm kind of regretting now, is because, well, I haven't seen it yet and it's a classic. Everybody's seen this. There's so many movies that everybody's seen that I actually haven't seen yet. Stuff like Jaws. Well, that doesn't look horrendous. Next, I'm going to take that black underneath. Now, I think it's time to do some liner. So under my eyes, I'm going to do this Kat Von D lip liner. I'm going to go under my eyes. Nice pop of green. And now with my Stila liner. I guess one thing I could talk about is fan entitlement and how much of a problem that's grown to be nowadays. We have so many internet creators and so much access to our favorite creators on the internet through things like social media. And people sometimes forget that their creators are not made for them. And the stuff that they make isn't for you, a person specifically, but for, you know, reasons. For the creator themselves, to make money, to do whatever it is that they felt the need to make that work do. But you get so wrapped up in these worlds that they make that you feel that they were for you specifically, and that you have a right to them and a right to say how they go and a right to say that, no, you should have done this, you should have done that, blah, blah, blah. I'm of the personal opinion that nothing exists but the text when it comes to a story. What was written down was written down. You can read something deeper meaning in that, yes, that's great. But the author can't just come in and tell you, oh, no, things are actually like this. Or things were like that all along. If they didn't put in the story, it's not real. And so a certain author can never really ruin your favorite book series, as hard as she tries. Oh, and next I'm going in with an Ardell magnetic liner to put on my lashes. I haven't tested this on my own eyes yet. Hopefully the iron oxide, which I assume is the magnetic element in it, is not going to cause a problem. And once again, I always get that wonky lash. Gonna have to try this again. There we go. That actually looks nice. I always have such a hard time putting on lashes. Thought I'd try this out. There we go. Wow, that looks really nice. And no need to touch up the eyeliner. Next, I'm going to put some of my Stila Shimmer and Glow on the center of my eye. But that seems to be how Annie feels about Sheldon and his work, that it was hers. and hers alone. No one else has any right to misery. Next, I'm gonna put some blush on my cheeks and some highlighter. For blush, I'm gonna go with CoverGirl's Cheekers. Don't wanna bring it too low, or it makes your face look long. Some right here. And then for highlight, I'm actually gonna go in with this Bite Cosmetic highlighter. It is so metallic and glittery. Just look at that. Just look at the way it goes. And also on my nose. And there we go, nice and glittery. I guess I could talk about how I feel about the movie. It's a very good movie, very well done. The acting is great. As I said, Bates and Can have really good, they play off each other so well. They could probably make a good comedy duo in a different movie. I'm gonna contour my nose a bit. Yeah, that looks more like how I want it to look. And finally, for lips, I'm actually gonna be using a liquid lipstick. This is NYX Liquid Suede in Sandstorm. It's kind of a darker nude. There we go. And we're almost done. There's just one more thing to do. This I got from YesStyle. It's a fairly cheap wig, but I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to look like super realistic hair. It needs to be brushed a bit. It's definitely got some shine to it. I am going to have to doctor it a bit, but this is more to just, I don't know, see how it looks out where the people can see me. One issue I have with wigs is I have such a small head that they never fit right. Even with the adjustable straps. Bangs are a bit long, but I can deal with that. I know how to cut them. Yeah, this is looking very fun. Oh, lost a lash. I've always wanted kind of a blonde ombre like this, which is why I bought it. Yeah, that looks really cute. So, not very much movie on this makeup in movies, but if you like horror, you definitely want to check it out if you haven't already. I mean, if you're like me and you never get to watch these kinds of movies because your parents hate them. Guys, have a good day.